sure by now all of y'all have caught the John the Don versus Hitman Holla battle. I gotta say that out of all the stuff that's dropped off the SM2 card, this battle is definitely um, one of the more entertaining things to watch. It has a lot of replay value, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a quick review on it. So let's get started. So Hitman Holla goes first. He won the coin toss and opted to go first. He starts off with a line about controlling the room that I thought was dope. The crowd was completely silent, you know what I'm saying, giving him the opportunity to get started. I bring John around legends like the singer. The Ty Gibson line was cool. I'm not big on sports, so it didn't move me one way or the other. You having close battles with Bill Collector was funny. And then he says, everything I got I paid for. So those the type of niggas that can't even call my phone. You know, Bill Collector's on call. Hitman's phone. So I dug that line. He did a Proving Ground rapper setup where he mentioned QP, Rosenberg Raw, Chilla Jones, Young Cannon, and JC. I thought the line was dope, and he didn't curse in the line, which was also a play on PG, you know, like the rating. Most of the time PG movies don't have cursing in them. The reload with the bullets that came out of him line was cool. I loved it when he remixed it as well. It got the crowd hype, and it was a great, you know what I'm saying, that's the type of stuff you like to see at Summer Madness too. The only issue that I had with it, realistically speaking, you can't reload with bullets that fell to the ground or whatever the case may be. Like I said, when it was delivered well. On the John Appleseed line, I thought that line was cool. Ask Bill, I'll stop this verse. Like, who you talking to? That was dope. Then he said, you talking multiple choice. I got a couple answers for you. You know, John likes to do multiple choice stuff in his rounds all the time. The Terminator line was cool, and surround the A like the @ sign, I liked that line as well. Overall, Hitman had a really strong first round. Delivery was A1. Performance, you know, presence, you know, he had quotables. That first round was crazy from Hitman. So John goes. He had the holiday, like holiday. He had that. He had Hitman has the hairline of the before picture from Rogaine, which I thought was funny. He had also made mention of the fact that like Hitman's like a diva now. All of that was cool to me. I liked it. I'm taking this shot you gave me close range. That line was crazy. John delivered it well. It came off well. I liked that line. Then he goes into explaining why he's used the multiple choice in the past. Shouts out to Sirius Jones, but I gotta do a multiple choice. The explanation canceled out the multiple choice for me. It's just like, yeah, I took from Sirius Jones, and I didn't know that I took from him, but it's cool, whatever. I'm gonna do my multiple choice anyway. I did, however, really enjoy Get Loud. That's why I brought this silencer for, to make sure this Hitman won't holla no more. Don't act like you ain't died from a holla before. The Heat setup was cool. The line that followed it, which was the two text duets. They gotta sing together. Once again, I'm like LeBron and D Wade on the Heat. They gotta ring together, and it was delivered great. The J.R. Smith remix was dope, but at this point, I was already like iffy with the multiple choice. So doing the J.R. Smith remix, even though it was a dope way to flip that setup, it's like I need to be hearing John's rap. He talked about the fact that Hitman doesn't bang all the time, and he had a line where he said, "That's how I know you pussy, because you only bleed once a month." You know, pussy blood soaked up Tampax. Dope. And then he ended it with Hitman's whole, you know, let a young nigga shine. So he did sit your young ass down, you ain't a vet, you know, and ended it off with ball game. With all that being said, I had to give the first round to Hitman. Hitman owned it, and Hitman's multiple choice mention in his first round canceled out John's multiple choice scheme. And also, John himself canceled it out when he brought up the fact that he didn't know Serious Jones did it first. Not even that, but the J.R. Smith remix, and then, you know, the You Ain't a Vet, Sit Your Young Ass Down, and Ball Game. A good portion of John's first round was old Hitman Holla shit. If I wanted to watch Hitman Holla, you know, I gave the first round to Hitman, clearly. No debating. So Hitman had a rebuttal for John in the beginning of his second round that just really fell flat for me. It didn't really add much to the round. His basketball setup, however, was crazy. What I gathered from it was John is a one note rapper. Kind of the way that somebody just learning basketball is one note, in the sense that the first thing you usually learn, or one of the first things you learn, is handles. And I don't know if you've ever like seen a guy who has handles, can do all kind of tricks, put the ball behind their back, all between their legs, but they can't play ball. They can't move anywhere, do anything. Conversely, Hitman's super versatile. You know, he can hit you with all sorts of moves, and it ends off with the pump fake and for the foul. All of that was crazy to me. You a proving ground nigga. This is proving ground nigga. This is a million view step. That's how I move around nigga. I liked that. A million views change Holla to a different dude, and I can't respect that coming from a dude who doesn't have a million views. I like that line a lot, and it was true. This next line was probably the highlight for me in Hitman's second round, and it wasn't lyrical, but this is like the kind of shit that we're used to getting from Holla, as far as like quotables and just things that stick out in your mind. He said, I body bag you. I did what I was supposed to do. You body bag me. Well, tomorrow you on Oprah. Your face on billboards. Your slogan on posters. It's crazy. I love that line. I loved how it was delivered. The I'm a realtor. I came to put John in his place. That flip and doing it over 3 times, I liked it. It was cool. The I'm a realtor. I came into his place. Then I'm a realtor. I came to put John in his place. And he did it a third time. I didn't really, the first two were good enough for me. Outside bathroom. I get pissed, I let shit fly, and John on the spot. You know, the John is the bathroom, pissed and shit. Bathroom. Get it? A part of John, Slow It Down, was weak to me. Split him in two. Now you can really call him John. That was dope. The John Wall Wizards line was cool too. I liked that line. And moved to where the Braves at. I dug that too. You know, Atlanta. Atlanta, stand up. Again, another strong round from Hitman. It had its stumbles. Like I said, Slow It Down was pretty weak. The initial rebuttal in the beginning was weak. He just didn't have a lot of shit in this round, but it is what it is. John's second round, he starts off strong. You know, he says, ball game don't mean shit to a nigga that ain't playing with you. That was dope. The talk to my pop for real, that line was ill. I like that line. The Maury show setup, where he said, hey, Big Gerald, yes, sir, you are not the father, was funny as that nigga sunned you and killed you, you Marvin Gaye. Love that line, but I do believe I've heard that before. I can't think of who said it first, though. Sig after sig after sig. Now that's chain smoking. That was dope. Concentration camps for those kind of thoughts. I'm letting aid off if I find out what the jewels on Holocaust. And then he flipped it and he goes, "'Cause his face is Adolf for his jewels. Look what Holla caused." And kind of looked like what Adolf did to the Jews during the Holocaust. Dope. That setup was crazy as well. You shining, my nigga, how much you paid for them jewels. You got 40,000 followers. I want to know how much you paid for them too. I thought that line was funny. You know, apparently there's a rumor that Hitman bought followers on Twitter. So that was funny. The "you got some explaining to do" shit didn't move me one way or the other. Holla did it better to me. T-Rex did it better to me. The Magic City setup, I liked that. You're gonna be missing your top, making it rain, all that was crazy. I like that line. Homeschool testing when I came up in his crib. And then he had another multiple choice game. Why, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyway, the second round was dope. Hitman lost a little steam to me. John, on the other hand, kind of picked up and had a lot of stuff going on, even though I didn't care for the multiple choice. I thought that was whack. I gave that second round to John, and that Adolf Holocaust setup was crazy. So Hitman starts his third, and he talks to the crowd about who he feels is better than John. He asked them if they thought Verb was better, and they went off. Like, they started booing, carrying on. Like, that crowd hated Verb. I'm not gonna say New York, but I'm gonna say that crowd hated Verb. That's just, there's no doubting that. Honestly, all that initial back and forth with the crowd, all that shit in the beginning of his round, like that first like 30 seconds of material was all filler to me. It's cool for Summer Madness though. You can kind of get away with shit like that. That crowd participation bullshit doesn't make me score around any different. Holla talked about John and Don battling on grind time and smack and not getting paid, which it's a true point. The 40 and the 4-5, kind of like kids are raising together. This line was cool, but I preferred when John said, you know, the shit about LeBron and D-Wade, they ring together. And this line kind of reminds me of that raising kids together line. And of course, try to block with your wrist and you're going to leave it out your hands. That was cool. If losses get you this well, I'm going to make sure to lose all next year. That was cool. I liked it. Till they stopping to come rehearse you, David Ruff. That line was cool. And I gotta say that the body setup from head to toe was crazy. It reminded me a lot of Heartless's arm setup, but it was still a crazy way to end the third. Hitman was dope. So John's third round, he comes out real strong. I don't know the whole facts with the Terrence Williams situation, but the crowd didn't like that line at all. So I don't feel one way or another about it. Then he said to Hitman that his last 3 battles landed him in the PGs. And then John goes on to say, if we're still the fucking undercard, what have you done for me? Bruh, you the undercard. But you wouldn't even been on the undercard if it wasn't for Hitman. So like, slow that down. You got to answer for that, definitely. John spent an ungodly amount of time talking about all the shit that went down in Chicago during the night of main events 2, which was really a build up to this battle. Didn't need it. It didn't add to the round. The Will Smith 7 pounds line has been said before, so I wasn't digging that. He mentioned the fact that the line had been used before. And then explained that, well, the line's been used before and I'm battling a nigga that's been dead before. Play games with my chips and I'm connecting 4. In black until he red, all over like a checkerboard. Dope line, I loved it. He talked about Hitman's baby mama and then he said, she suck at A verbs, nouns, similes, and metaphors. And then he did a slow it down where He said she's sucking a verb now since December, least what he met her for. Cool, slow it down. I liked it. And then the whole ill, feeling sick. That was cool. Honey mustard dip, chicken strip. Something very similar has been said before. It is what it is. But I did, however, I loved the whole login. I got my log off. So then I signed out. That line was dope. And then the last thing that I was digging was the something like a dyke with the pipe I'm strapped. Strong third round from John. Now, I gave that third round to Hitman. I think Hitman was stronger in it. And just the fact that, like, John recycled again in this third, I couldn't rock with it at all. So I gave this battle to Hitman 2-1. I gave John the second round. Gave Hitman the first clearly, John the second clearly, and Hitman the third edging it. I gotta say that even though this battle has tons of replay value and is a really dope battle, John probably would have had a better chance winning if he hadn't used so much shit from other rappers. And I know that's a part of his style, flipping niggas shit. But if you are spending an inordinate amount of time reciting, remixing, flipping other people's concepts, other people's bars, other people's slogans, you're not rapping, you know what I'm saying? You're not really rapping you. You're just taking somebody else's material and regurgitating it out, especially considering the person that you did it with. You did it with Hitman. Hitman has tons of quotables, tons of lines that people never forget, and you can't run around doing bars like that and regurgitating them. Might be cool live, but when the footage comes out, it's always going to be an issue. I think considering the fact that, like, John's on the come up, however, his performance was strong. He was strong, and given the time and the opportunity to write his own material, there's no telling where he's gonna go. I hope he keeps getting, you know what I'm saying, mid-tier and top-tier guys to rock with. You know, it would be nice to see him make a full-on transition to like the main stage with these, you know what I'm saying, more polished guys. But I definitely think that the next time he gets a big name, that he really takes the time to cater bars to that person, come with, you know, lots of personals, you know what I'm saying, do your research on that person. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the link for the battle down in the description box. If there's anything that I missed, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. And don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, and also to follow me on Twitter. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace. All right, some alarming news that I just got over the phone. It's Shakru versus a kid named Fat Los. If you want to go check that battle out, I'll leave a link down in the description box below. In the third round, Shakru does a body scheme just like Hitman, and the timing, this event was prior to Summer Madness 2, and I'm not saying that Hitman bit, because the, you know what I'm saying, the timing just doesn't seem like it could be possible. But it's an alarming coincidence that this scheme showed up in 2 battles. So I'm actually still gonna give the round to Hitman, just because I can't really say conclusively whether or not he bit that bar and that scheme from Shakru. I just figured that I'd drop that knowledge on you, and also just so you can go and check that battle out and see how Shakru did the same scheme.